Getting the hard away, Southern T. Back with another EP. My YouTube stream y'all whatever. Well, one of them BSing right now, but we gonna make it do what it do. But I don't know if you hear it. If you have or if you haven't, that's what we here for. What's good, quick. Appreciate you sliding through. Edgar Chavez. Appreciate you sliding through. Glad you can make it. If y'all could jab that like button for your boy. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time. Greatly appreciate you. Greatly appreciate you. Let YouTube know they rely. Let YouTube know that we talking this good boxing. Right. So these tank pay-per-view numbers, right? They starting to trickle out, right? They starting to trickle out. I've seen numbers ranging from about 70,000 to numbers ranging till about a little over 100,000, right? Now, what I got from my people, right, from my source, right, I heard this, I heard that, right. When I checked with my people, right, they told me that it did around, 84,000 pay-per-views, right? 84,000 pay-per-views, right? So that's what we going. Now, what's the number being reported, right, is 70,000. That's what people are saying, 70,000. But I'm hearing 84,000. So I'm going with my move, you know what I mean, as I always do. So 84,000 is the number, right? Now, what people are going around doing is now they actually going around shitting on the 70,000 number, right? 70,000 is what's being reported. So let's just say that it's somewhere between 70 and 100,000, right? But for today, right, we go use 84. We go use 84 because I was told not to believe that 70,000. You know what I mean? Rumor. And I heard this, and I heard these numbers around. You know what I mean? Maybe last Friday. You know what I mean? Maybe last Friday, I was first told, about this 84,000. But I didn't want to be the first one to put it out, right? Because I ain't want the heat, you know what I mean? I ain't want the backlash, you know what I mean, to come with that type deal, right? I ain't want people saying, Southern T, hating on Tank Davis, Tank ain't do that number or this number or that number, right? So I said I'm gonna let it hit. I'm gonna let it hit the surface. I'm gonna let it circulate a little bit, and I'm gonna see what it do. You know what I mean? I said I'm gonna let it, hit the. I said I'm gonna let it hit the airwave a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna see what that thing do, right? So the numbers being Fizzle. What's good, Fizzle? Appreciate you sliding through this time. My girl Quee, Edgar Chavez, Josh Sanders, G Fizzle. What's good? So I said I'm gonna let that thing sizzle right on everybody's spirit for a second. So now the number that came out, right? Now the number that's being reported is 70,000. But I'm going with 80. I'm going with 84. I'm going with 84,000, like I heard. You know what I mean? In the beginning, right? But now what the people are trying to spin right now is, because a lot of people are surface level thinkers, right? A lot of people are looking at, things from just, the surface level, right? But y'all know over here at Southern T, y'all know us TWTs and the good folks, that we mess with. We look at stuff, just more than surface level, right? So let's just say that the rumors are true, right? Not the 70,000 rumor, right? But let's just say that it did under 100,000, right? So let's just say that it did 84,000. Now, a lot of people are still living like in the old days, right? A lot of people are stuck in their ways. This is not just in boxing, right? This is like a life lesson right now. But roll with me because I'm getting somewhere, right? A lot of people are stuck in their ways. A lot of people see pay-per-views these days, right? Or they'll see a gate these days, and it won't be, they're comparing it to, the highest of the high and the best of the best. They'll say, oh, well, man, Floyd Mayweather sold this many pay-per-views, right? Or Canelo Alvarez sold this many pay-per-views, right? You know what I mean? They'll go straight to Canelo. They'll go straight, to Floyd Mayweather and be like, oh, well, because his pay-per-view didn't do this, then, it's not a success, right? That's because people are extreme surface level thinkers. You know what I mean? You can't, of course, if you comparing, these young brothers who doing pay-per-views now, right? If you're comparing these young brothers pay-per-views to, the top two pay-per-view sellers in our generation, right? Floyd Mayweather, who is the top pay-per-view seller in any generation, right? And then you got Canelo Alvarez, who will be, the top pay-per-view seller right now, right? So of course, if you're comparing, Earl Spence and Gervonta Tank Davis and Deontay Wilder, you know what I mean? If you're comparing them to Floyd Mayweather, right? Then of course they're not going to sell any pay-per-views because Floyd Mayweather sold more pay-per-views than anybody in history. Canelo Alvarez has never sold 1 million pay-per-views. The most that Canelo Alvarez sold was 800,000. And Canelo Alvarez only did that one time. He's not repeatedly out here selling, 800,000 pay-per-views. Canelo Alvarez sold 800,000 pay-per-views once. And since, what's good, Tim? And since then, it has been, decreasing every pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin pay-per-view didn't do so hot, which is why you didn't hear a whole lot of hoopla about it. You know what I mean? A rumor came out that Golovkin and Triple G did about 200,000 pay-per-views. Eddie Hearn quickly cleaned it up, and he said, well, I tell you this, it did most definitely at least double that. And then Eddie Hearn came out and reported that the pay-per-view did about 500,000 pay-per-views, right? But Canelo Alvarez, last pay-per-view ranged anywhere from 150 to about 300,000, you know what I mean, pay-per-views. So this is just this era that we live in, the time that we living in. This isn't the Floyd Mayweather, you know what I mean, pay-per-view era with all the pirating, right, and all the streaming, you know what I mean, that's going on. These guys that's hitting 300,000, 400,000, 250,000, even 200,000 pay-per-views consistently. If you're comparing them to, the time that they live in, what they're, if you're comparing them to boxing for what it is right now, the present time in boxing, not, to Floyd Mayweather, because even the people who was around Floyd Mayweather back then wasn't getting that bag like Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? They were getting around, maybe not even the bag of Earl Spence, or Deontay Wilder, and Tank Davis, if you really look at it. A lot of people are on the surface level and they just say Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? Yeah, Floyd Mayweather is number one. So if you compare anything to Floyd, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Or it's going to fall short, right? But you got to compare it for, what's going on right now. You got to compare them to their contemporaries. You got to compare them to, the thing that's being, you got to compare it to how the product is being pushed right now. You know what I mean? Come back too bad. Ray Buck, what's good, my brothers? Appreciate you sliding through this thing. Glad I can make it. If y'all could smash that like button for your boy. Come back. I'm finna reach you up. Come back too bad. I'm finna get my charge and I'm finna reach you up. Come back. Y'all smash that, but we finna get into. I'm just letting y'all know, like, how modern day pay-per-views, how modern day boxing work a little bit. You know what I mean? Trying to just bring it all together before we get to the point. You know what I mean? See, that's what they doing. See, that's what they doing. See, y'all, they trying to fuck the game up. See, they trying to compare Tank Davis to, Floyd Mayweather, right? Or they trying to compare him to prime, you know what I mean, Canelo Alvarez, and say, well, look, he didn't do this many pay-per-views, so he failed. But I'm trying to put it into perspective for you, right? Now, you can say, well, if Tank did under 100,000 this time, and he consistently been doing about 175 to 200,000 pay-per-views, you can say, well, we got to find the reason. It was a deflux, right? Now that could be a problem, but the people that's trying to say that Tank Davis failed at this pay-per-view are completely wrong, and I'm gonna tell you how in just a second, right? But if you comparing this 84,000 to Floyd Mayweather, right, or if you comparing it to Canelo's highest, which is not what he does on the regular, right? I mean, then yeah, it didn't do well. But if you comparing it to his contemporaries, right? If you comparing it to the times now, and even if you comparing it, comparable to anybody not named, Floyd Mayweather, anybody not named Canelo, anybody not named Earl Spence, anybody not named Deontay Wilder, even anybody not named Anthony Joshua, right? When you comparing, Tank Davis's pay-per-view numbers type deal to 97, right? When you comparing it to 98.9% of the field, Tank Davis most definitely is a successful pay-per-view guy. And I'm going to tell you how, because what people are doing right now, right, they're taking these low numbers, right? In their mind, like I'm doing quotation marks, y'all can't see me, right? But they're taking these low numbers, right? And they're running with it saying that the pay-per-view flop, right? So what we're about to do is we're about to really crunch these numbers, right? That's what we're about to do. We're about to crunch these numbers. Now, one of the hard parts is done for us, right? We don't even got to do the revenue gate, right? We don't got to crunch the revenue gate because it's already been crunched for us, right? We know that Tank Davis did $5 million in revenue, right? So let's go ahead and let's punch in, that $5 million. So already, right, just from the gate alone, which is what makes you a pay-per-view star in these day and times. Southern T, what you talking about? How does your gate make you a pay-per-view star in these days and times? Well, if you have, like I was saying, some people are only surface level thinkers. Some people are stuck in their ways. Some people are stuck in the past. You know what I mean? And that ain't just boxing. You know what I mean? That's in life in general, right? They just carry over into boxing, right? So they're still living back, when Floyd Mayweather was doing pay-per-view, because the only person they can say nobody is really beating down the pay-per-view game like that. Floyd Mayweather and everybody attached to Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to say that a little slow, right? Because I know y'all ain't going to like it, but ain't nobody beating down the pay-per-view game but Floyd Mayweather and a couple people attached to Floyd Mayweather. And then I'm going to digress on that. What's good, Matthew? Appreciate you sliding through. Sliding through. But what people, will want to tell you is that, Tank fell. But today, in today's time, not in the past, not what it used to be. Right now, in today's time, you got to be able to sell out their gate. That is where they get, the majority of their money from now. Because like I was mentioning earlier, it's so much pirating going on. It's so much streaming going on, right? Those gate numbers those pay-per-view numbers are going to be kind of slanted anyway, right? Let's just use the 84,000 that's being talked about Tank, right? If a guy is able, like, let's just say Tank sold 84,000 pay-per-views this time, right? Y'all think facts, Teddy. You see where I'm going, Teddy. Teddy, stop ruining the EP. Teddy, stop ruining the EP, Teddy. So let's just say that Tank Davis did 84,000, right? With the times it is right now, with so much pirating and streaming going on, y'all really think only 84,000 people watched that fight? I guarantee you it was about anywhere from 500,000 to about 800,000 people watching that Gervonta Tank Davis fight, right? 84 people may have legally bought the pay-per-view, but I guarantee you it was anywhere from 3 to 800,000 people watching that pay-per-view, right? 300, matter of fact, I'm going 500 to 800,000 people watching it, right? 84,000 people bought it, right? And that's just because of the times, that we live in. Everybody's going to stream it, all the pirating that's going on, pirating, however you want to see it. I'm country. I say pirating, it may be pirating. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. With all that that's going on, right? You know what I mean? The people, the business minds, the people in the suits, the people at the top, they understand, what's going on. And like my guy Tay-D just said, damn it, man. Like my guy Tay-D just said, right? In these days, you can't compare it to Floyd Mayweather, right? You can't compare it to everybody's highest pay-per-view, right? These days, you got to look at it for what it is and not for what it was. These days, again, with all of the streaming and pirating going on, the fighters who get the pay-per-view fights are the fighters who sell out the arenas, are the fighters who sell out the buildings. You know, those are the pay-per-view fighters. You put those fighters because you could get the money off of the gate. Early Gray Breakfast, G37. Appreciate you, Earl Gray Breakfast. Yeah, appreciate you. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in, right? But the fighters who could sell out arenas and the fighters who sell out venues, those are the fighters that get the pay-per-view opportunities. And you can't just Mr. Aggressive, what's good? And you can't just look at it on the surface. You know what I mean? If you just look at it and compare it to Floyd, well, damn right, because Floyd got a goddamn million, a 1.1 million, a 1.2 million, a 1.4 million, a 1.5 million. You know what I mean? Floyd got a bunch of different. Floyd got a bunch of different, you know, pay-per-view records, right? So if you compare it to Floyd, then heck yeah, it's gonna be a failure. But you gotta compare it to what's going on now in the times right now, right? So let's look at it like this. So we know how much. Let me get back on track, right? Let me get a bottle of water. Dude, what's good, dude? Dude, what it do? Dude, what it do? Hey, stay healthy, man. Live a long life. Live a long life, man. Stay healthy. But you know, we gotta compare. You know, we gotta compare it to, you know, what it is right now. The fighters who could sell out the fighters who could create the big gates are the fighters that they put on pay-per-view, because like my guy Teddy just said, in these times pay-per-view is just an extra. So if you could get a fighter in Gervonta Tank Davis, right, who could do a $5 million gate, right? Now I hope y'all know when a fighter does a $5 million gate like that, understand that Tank Davis now owns that stadium, the Washington Arena. That's Tank Davis. How Earl Spence, y'all don't see where I'm going with this. I'm finna learn y'all today, though. I'm finna learn y'all today. And we gonna get back to the numbers, but I'm finna learn y'all something today. Understand, when you do a $5 million gate, you break a record at an arena that is now your arena. Tank Davis could call them people up right now by himself and say, hey, I want to fight in that arena. They go clear some shit out for Gervonta Tank Davis to get that arena now. So that's called star power right there. That's star power. You now have a venue. You now have a venue to go to, right? So that's first. Right? So that's first. You know, he's at the same time, right? So that's first. Number two, $5 million at the venue. Now let's just say that he did 84,000 pay-per-views, right? I'm finna bring the screen up because we finna figure this shit out together, right? Let's see how much this Gervonta Tank Davis pay-per-view cost. I had it up there, but, you know, I took it down on accident because I be on some hot shit sometimes, you know. But okay, so his pay-per-view was $74.99. So let's bring out the camera real quick. Let's do some math real quick. Let's do some math real quick, right? So we know he did $5 million on the gate, right? So let's go $74.99 times 84,000. Okay. Boom. Okay, so facts there, man. Okay, so Tank Davis was able to amass. This is the part I gonna tell you. People go look. This is what I'm telling you. People are surface level thinkers, right? But that's why we crunching the numbers. That's why I'm breaking down to you, you know, how it worked for boxing right now, because times are not what they used to be. Times is, you know, is now it's a different type thing. Jeff, what's good, Jeff? Okay, Jeff. Okay, Jeff. I got you, Jeff. My bad, Jeff. I got you, Jeff. I supposed to been did that, didn't I? I got you, Jeff. Shout out my nigga Jeff. I got you, Jeff. I don't know how you got blocked, bro. I don't know how you got blocked. That what gives me people say they're huge supporters, but don't buy the fights. I go to Earl Fights, buy the pay-per-view for my house so the family can watch it. Yep, fast quick, you know. But oh yeah, my bad. But yeah, let's get back to it, right? So we know Tank Davis, you know, he did a $5 million gate. So that hard part is done for us, right? The hard part is done for us. And like I was saying, you know, now when you break a record like that, right? When you do $5 million gate, that's now your stadium. You can get this stadium anytime you want to get this stadium. So that was a success. You know what I mean? That's a success, right? So I just crunched them numbers, right? And I'm finna drop in the chat what I came up with. Now, what people gonna tell you is, oh, Tank Davis flopped. He flopped. Tank Davis flopped. He only sold 84,000 pay-per-views. Oh, he flopped, right? But the part that they not gonna tell y'all, right? They ain't gonna tell y'all that Gervonta Tank Davis brought in $11 fucking million total gate. They ain't gonna tell you about that total gate, right? They ain't telling you about that total gate. Name me one businessman that has amassed $11 million on one night, right? $11.3 million, right? 11.3 roughly. 11.299, right? Roughly $1 million. Name me a businessman that has amassed $11 million on one night and said, damn, that was a bad night for me. They'll tell you that Gervonta Tank Davis flopped and that boy brought in double-digit $1 million. That boy broke a record for the Washington Wizards, the Washington Capitals, and it's a college team. You know what I mean? And it's a college team. He doubled them, Queen. He doubled them, Queen. He doubled them. Queen, he more than doubled them. Buddy mass like $5 to $6 million total. Y'all know we break them numbers down over at Sun T. This ain't even to compare it to Bud, right? Because if you compare Bud to a lot of these other people, Queen, Bud did pretty good. You know what I mean? If you compare them to other people, right? Bud did decent. But my thing is, people so surface level thinkers, people don't really know what's going on, right? They'll see that 84,000 and be like, oh, Tank flop. No, this is a different era. You don't look at Tank's pay-per-views first no more. We used to look at Floyd Mayweather pay-per-views first, right? We used to look at, really, that's it. Canelo Hayes pay-per-view is with Floyd Mayweather. He got a pay-per-view with Triple G. You know what I mean? That did pretty good. But after that, the rest of the pay-per-views are average. They online with everybody else's. He got like an 800,000 or 600,000, and the rest of them are just like Earl Spence, Deontay Wilder's and shit. He do fucking 400,000 to 300,000. On the rest of them, he got two of them that's pretty big, and the rest of them do about the same. A lot of them don't be that good. Earl Spence has done Earl Spence. Yeah, I need to do an EP about that again because I already did it. But Earl Spence is increasingly doing better pay-per-views, making more from the total gate than Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is getting paid more than Earl Spence, right? That's a different thing from how much money that you generate. You know what I mean? But that's a whole different EP. Those different numbers. You know what I mean? Canelo is getting paid a lot of money. Earl Spence and Wilder and Tank are generating more money than Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? They generate more money. Canelo was getting paid more money. It's a big difference. Canelo was actually losing people money. He getting paid, right? But he's actually losing money for a lot of these people, right? If you could get a few fights out of Canelo, you could see some back end on it, right? If you could get him to work with you, you could see some back end, but you got to pay him so much. He get paid, but you probably lose. on your event, or you might not collect as much as people thinking you collect. In this situation, let's really crunch these numbers, right? Let's really crunch these numbers. We got time. I got time today. Let's really crunch these numbers, yo. Right? Speaking of wins and losses, Tank's salary, right? Everybody know what PBC on. You get about the top guys. You get about $2.5 million up front, guarantee, unless you Deontay Wilder, then you get what the hell you want, guaranteed, right? You get about $2.5 million up front. They see what your show generates, right? And then you get paid again. Stay with me. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. Stay with me. So they want to tell you that Gervonta Tank Davis flopped, right? Stay with me. 11 million, 11.3 million, right? They want to tell you that he flopped. Tank probably got $2.5 million up front, right? They go tax that. That's all they go tax. That's all. New Fat Boy, what's good, new Fat Boy? G Fizzle, A. That's all they go tax, right? So he got 2.5 up front. He made fucking $9 million more than what he was given. I'm gonna drop the flames for myself again because I don't think y'all felt that or heard that. He made $9 million more than what he was given. Y'all ain't feeling me. So y'all don't think that Gervonta Tank Davis, just himself, right? Gervonta Tank Davis himself, he at least doubled his salary. So he made about $5 million. What's good, Ashley? So he got at least $5 million off this fucking fight. At least. If he making $9 million, he made $9 million off his fight. He got paid 2.5. So that boy got 2.5. He doubled down. He probably got more than double, right? But I'm just gonna give him double. I'm gonna just say he got another 2.5 off that 9. That means the PBC still got 6.5 profit. A 6.5 profit, right? That whole card on there, let's just say it took $2 million to pay the card. It took $2 million to pay the card, right? And then there's $4 million in the earth for the big heads. You get what I'm saying? So, and I don't know what their pockets is, right? I don't know what their pockets is, but in boxing, a lot of these events are okay with breaking even, right? A lot of these events are okay with breaking even. So if you a guy like Tank Davis, if the boss man can get $5 million off you every fight, if you could get $5 million off yourself every fight, why the fuck wouldn't they put you on pay-per-view? And then y'all gotta think, imagine, and let's just say that the 84K is true. They want to tell you it's a bad number, but when you look at the whole totality of it, it's a good number. But look, for Gervonta Tank Davis, if you compare Gervonta Tank Davis to himself, if you compare that nigga to himself, yeah, he did do bad. If you compare Gervonta to Gervonta, not on the grand scheme of things, imagine if Gervonta had did what he normally do, right? I think maybe now this pay-per-view might have suffered from being so quick and whatnot, you know what I mean? But imagine if he had did what he normally do. So Al probably getting more than $5 million off that nigga. You know what I mean? A fight. You get what I'm saying? Just Al alone. Not even Gervonta. You get what I'm saying? So people want to look at it on the surface level, right? It's a lot of surface level thinkers out here, right? Oh, he did 84,000 pay-per-views. That's a flop. Did the event flop? Answer my question. Did the event flop? Y'all telling me $11.3 million is a flop? You niggas don't know what you're looking for. You niggas don't know how boxing work these days. I see y'all in that thing. Shout out my guy, New Fat Boy Fitness. He said a small deposit for the TWT family. Keep cooking. Really appreciate you, soldier. Hey, bro, get your duck. Hey, bro, real talk. Get your duck ass out of here. Hey, Y'all take care of this dude. Get this duck ass nigga out of here. Get this duck ass nigga out of here. Ain't nobody caught no 600,000 pay-per-views to flop. Get your goof ass out of here. You on goofy time. Ain't nobody talking about, bro. We ain't finna talk about, bro. This is Javante Davis EP, my nigga. You need to come in on subject or get your motherfucking ass up out of here. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody. I just clearly gave him credit for the 800,000 and 600,000 pay-per-view. Where the fuck have you been, my nigga? Where have you been, my nigga? I clearly just said you can't compare it to Floyd Mayweather, who the best pay-per-view seller of all time, and you can't compare him to Canelo Alvarez, who the number one pay-per-view seller right now. Y'all niggas be having y'all fucking finger up y'all booty so goddamn much. Y'all can't hear what the fuck I'm saying. Take your finger out your booty and you can hear what the fuck I'm saying. Y'all niggas, man, it's too early for this shit, dog. It's too early for this shit, bro. Really, the problem is y'all just mad because I ain't in here slandering Tank Davis. If I was in here talking shit about, he did 84,000. He flopped. Y'all be soaking that shit up because y'all like when I talk about black brothers, when I talk down on them. That's why I really don't do it. That's why I ain't doing that shit no more. That's why I'm in here. Telling y'all how this shit really work. That's what if I said. Read my comment about PBC. Okay. Let me see. You know what I mean? That's why I'm in here telling y'all how this shit really work right now. You can't compare pay-per-view. You compare every pay-per-view to 600,000. You compare every pay-per-view to 800,000. You compare every pay-per-view to 100.7, to 100.4, to 100.5. Of course, your shit go flop if you comparing it to the best pay-per-view seller ever, or you comparing it to 800 and 600,000, which Canelo only did twice. All of them after that been regular. Errol Spence is increasingly doing better, increasingly making more revenue from his fights than Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? They're doing. He outsold them in the pandemic. You know what I mean? But I digress. I'm trying to find where your PBC come in at. Is this it? Okay. Five said you get taxed heavy on the front end. That's what's reported to the IRS. The back end is where they eat because they got tax heavy on the front end. I've been have cooked on the PBC way. And those are facts. And they won't tell you Tank Davis flop. Nah, he made at least $5 million off this fight. At least. What's good, Tay Tay? Appreciate you sliding through. Glad you can make it. I ain't dropped the flames for nobody. What's good, Shay girl? Appreciate you sliding through. Glad y'all can make it. I ain't dropped the flames for nobody. You know what I mean? But I'm going to drop the flames for all y'all in a sec. I'm just trying to stay on course because y'all know I'm slow. I'm high. I forget shit. I'll be up here cooking. And then I see a goof ass comment in a post and that'll get me all thrown off and I forget everything I'm talking about. But today, I ain't going to forget what I'm talking about. Because most people, again, they surface level thinkers. They want you to believe that Tank Davis flopped. But when you got to look at it in the totality, which is why I put motherfucking 5 million up there with that. 84,000 pay-per-views. Yeah, if you compare Tank Davis to Tank Davis, if you compare Tank Davis to himself, or you compare him to the only other 4 people who do pay-per-views, I'm finna say this again. I'm finna say it slow. I'm not bad successful, right? You compare him to the only other 4 people who do successful pay-per-views. Tank is in this bitch having every single fight on pay-per-view. You know why he can do that? Because he sell out them venues. That's what make you a star now. Ain't nobody doing consistently successful pay-per-views. Ain't nobody sell them, Ash. Ain't nobody doing consistently successful as the event, Ash. They ain't hearing me, Ash. The events, they look at pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view. Welcome out to pay-per-view. Because people forget it because we say pay-per-view so much. Welcome out to pay-per-view. It's a whole skeptical. It ain't just a pay-per-view. Pay-per-view is just the shit on TV. Pay-per-view is just the shit on TV. It's a whole skeptical. The reason Florida fucking billionaire is because Florida used to sell out buildings and sell 1 million pay-per-views. That's because Florida was just different. Nigga, Canelo ain't no billionaire. Canelo money came straight from Eddie Hearn. Canelo money is a handout, and that's a different EP. I ain't gonna hurt y'all feelings today, but his money is a handout. It was given to him. He don't generate his money. Floyd generated his money. Tank generates his money. Errol Spence generates his money. Deontay Wilder generates his money. He's not being given shit. Now, AJ is being given money, but guess what AJ do still? He get them folks their money back. AJ sell out fucking 100,000 arenas every time he fight. AJ making his profit flip. Canelo is the only out of the 5 pay-per-view stars, because only 5 of them do pay-per-views continuously successfully. Canelo, Wilder, AJ, Spence, Tank. Out of the 5, Canelo generates the least fucking money. Crazy. I'm done. I'm through. Because that's a different EP. That's a different EP. It was $74.99. I don't think Tank's getting paid himself. Tank is going to get his money. Facts, Teach. I just broke it down, Teach. Tank himself is going to get about 5. Al is going to get about 5. They made about 2. It take about 2, to pay the undercard. And you got to think, this is a low pay-per-view number, pay-per-view sale number for Tank. So they getting more. They probably normally would get more than this from the pay-per-view. But the arena, he broke a record. He got 5 off there, off the WAP. Tank was able to pay the bills. With the gate money. The pay-per-view brought in about 6 million, 6 and some change, right? On top of what they already made. You get what I mean? People want to tell you the pay-per-view was a flop when it wasn't. It's a pay-per-view event. It's not just a pay-per-view. Pay-per-view is for the people at home. The whole event as a whole was a success. What make people stars is not what people want to put out there and tell you. It ain't your pay-per-view sales. Your pay-per-view sales really helps you. Your gate is what's gonna pay the bills for everybody. Go get you your guaranteed, right? Go get the boss paid. Go get the undercard paid. Your gate pretty much is go do that. Your pay-per-views is go get you that extra wop, that bread. You know what I mean? Let's go get you that. You know what I mean? Tank does that. Earl does that. Wilder does that. AJ does that. They paying Canelo and they losing money. People want to tell you that Tank flopped. What's good, Yoda? People want to tell you that Tank flopped. No, everybody got paid. Tank made $9 million more than his fucking purse, which is why PBC give you that 2.5 up front. Because on that back end is where y'all go eat. Either they definitely come up, they still got concessions, murder, facts. And I ain't beat out. I ain't even added that because I don't know them numbers. Those numbers are hard to find. Like those numbers are hard to track down. So those jumps are hard, right? I just use pay-per-view in the gate. You know what I mean? I just use pay-per-view in the gate. And maybe they add concession in the gate revenue or whatnot, but those shits are hard. It's hard to find those concessions in, merchandise and all that shit. That's tough. You know what I mean? But just from pay-per-view and the gate, he made 11.3. And people want you to believe it's a flop. And again, I keep saying this for a reason. And I'm finna drink some water before I fire this button up. For the time now, right now, for the time today, and the boxing that we watch, the boxing that we support, because we the people that push boxing right now. Used to be our uncles and aunties, grandmamas and granddaddies and brothers and big brothers and shit. Now it's us, right? For the times now, what makes you a star? And guess what, y'all? Because we all do it. What makes you a star now is getting people out of their homes, going to your fights, because now people can stream. You got to get the people out of your seat. That's first. That comes first. That's how people decide who gets pay-per-views. You can't even get a pay-per-view until you can put asses in seats. And actually, that has been the potion the whole time. You don't get pay-per-views unless you put asses in seats. The fan got smart. The person got smart. The consumer got smart when they made streams to get around having to buy the pay-per-view. But boxing is still pretty much the same, right? It's just that now it's more so based off putting asses in seats because of the streaming and the pirating and all that. So now you can't even get on pay-per-view if you can't put asses in seats. You know what I mean? And that's really how it should be. So to ever say that Tank flopped, you know, that's bullshit, because what are you comparing him to? You compare him to Floyd Mayweather. And if you compare Canelo to Floyd Mayweather, Canelo fucking flopped. They try to make it like Canelo just the end all be all. No, nigga, he flopped. You compare him to goddamn Mayweather. Y'all be bringing up Canelo. Yeah, Canelo sell the most. He really don't sell the most pay-per-views right now, because Errol Spence and Deontay Wilder have been on his ass for a couple years. You know what I mean? That man had 2 extremely successful pay-per-views, right? He sold 800,000 and he sold 600,000. The rest of them, just like everybody else. Over the last couple years, Errol Spence has been selling more pay-per-views total and generating more money from the gate than Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? They want to come and say, oh, Tank, the face of boxing. Y'all Tank flop. Y'all say he was the face of boxing. In today's time, right now, with everything that's going on, you damn right, Tank Davis is one of the faces of boxing. Again, most people don't know shit about boxing. Look at how many people who have continuous, successful pay-per-views, even continuous pay-per-views. It ain't that many people who even have pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view. It's not. It's not. Like every time, it's not. It's only a few. And then it's even less who have continuous successful pay-per-views. And Tank Davis is one of those people. You know what I mean? So they gonna run out here with this 84K in pay-per-views and tell you it's a flop. You know what I mean? You even had this goofy coming here talking about when Canelo did 600,000, you had YouTube community saying that was a flop. Man, ain't nobody ever said no goofy ass shit like that, bro. You just want to come here and you want to shit on Gervonta Tank Davis. But you knew you couldn't come in here and do it the way you wanted to, because I was dropping them facts and I was dropping, all that goddamn flame on your ass, and it made sense to you. So you had to switch your goddamn stance and come here and try to say that people said 600,000 was a flop. Ain't nobody say 600,000 was no damn flop. What we said was that 150,000 he did with Triple G, his very last pay-per-view, was a flop. That's the junk that you didn't want to talk about. That's the junk that you didn't want to talk about. You know what I mean? That 150,000 he just did with motherfucking Triple G. That's the junk we said flop, my nigga. Didn't nobody say that motherfucking $600,000 pay-per-view flop. You just want to come here and you just want to talk about a motherfucking 600,000 pay-per-view. Like I ain't already bring that motherfucking shit up and give old homie his credit. Newsflash, I used to like Canelo too, my nigga, until that nigga started taking steroids. Then I had to stop fucking with him because I don't fuck with motherfucking cheaters. Fuck is you talking about? Just like I had to stop fucking with Carter Bean because I don't fuck with motherfucking cheaters. Fuck is you saying? Let's talk about that 150,000 he just motherfucking did. Let's talk about the 150,000 he just motherfucking did with Triple G. Flopped. That shit flopped. And Earl just did fucking 200 and Earl just did what he do 230,000 with Ugas. Goddamn $9 million gate. I'ma say it again. He just sold 220,000 pay-per-views and did a $9 million gate. Earl Spence brought in about 29 fucking million dollars with Ugas in that Dallas Stadium. And it was packed. The numbers is real. I know because I was there, motherfucker. It was a real 39,000 in that building. At least 40,000 motherfuckers in there. They said what? 38 and some change. I know for sure it was about 39,000 motherfuckers in there. It looked like it. It felt like it. It felt like it. It felt like it. And that was with Ugas. You know what I mean? Earl Spence did 220 his last jump. Canelo did 150 his last jump. Earl Spence made $9 million from his gate, his last pay-per-view. I don't even know what the fuck Canelo made from his gate and his pay-per-view because who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? I'm going to let y'all figure that shit out. You know what I mean? But I do know That pandemic joint, Earl Spence made an $8 million gate, and Canelo had a $7.2 million gate. Y'all don't want to talk about that either. Yeah, so while y'all trying to come in here and shit on Tank and shit like Tank ain't shit but 28, when Tank get about 32 like Earl Spence, he go fuck around be doing better than goddamn Canelo Alvarez too. I'm gonna drop the flames for myself again on that one. Fuck what you talking about? People is losing money off Canelo. People go tell you Canelo got paid. That's why when it was Canelo, y'all always heard Canelo got paid this much. Canelo got paid that much. How much did the event make? How much did the event make? That's the real question. How much did the event make? Y'all talk about face of boxing. Now, Canelo going there and Canelo sell Floyd Mayweather name. I got 33 likes. Y'all smash that like button for your boy. Y'all get your boy right. I got 26 people in the I got 33 likes. Y'all hit that like button. Let YouTube know that we live. Let YouTube know that we doing a good job. Y'all want to talk about the face of boxing? Let's really talk about the face of boxing. Matter of fact, let me put this shit in there. Let's really talk about face of boxing, right? Y'all want to say Canelo face of boxing and shit? Let's really break this shit down. And I'm gonna slap this shit out of my motherfucking. I'm gonna slap this shit out of my motherfucking self because I be saying that stupid ass shit too. Canelo ain't no motherfucker. Hold on, I messed it up. I got it together. Canelo ain't no motherfucking face of boxing. And I'm finna tell you how. Face of boxing. Let's really talk about the face of boxing in this bitch. You know what I mean? Right? Y'all want to say the face of boxing, right? Y'all want to say the face of boxing, Canelo. Right? What really makes you the face of boxing, right? Ain't how much that you could garner. Y'all got this shit twisted. The thing about Floyd Mayweather, he want the face of boxing because he could make them people pay him this amount of money. You know why could Floyd Mayweather was the face of boxing? Because the people had to pay him that amount of money because he knew the money that he was going to generate. Canelo is asking for these big prices all because he got a smither of Floyd Mayweather on him because he lost to Floyd Mayweather. Canelo Alvarez is making money off Floyd Mayweather. Canelo is not generating money like the face of boxing. Canelo is being paid as the face of boxing because he's the only guy that boxes right now who has fought Floyd goddamn Mayweather. Nobody else has fought Floyd Mayweather but Canelo. Canelo is getting paid as the face of boxing, but he's not generating face of boxing money. Oh, yeah. He don't generate that. Canelo Alvarez is not generating, right? Not being paid, not being given. He just got to keep it a buck. Tank more known than Earl. More known. I mean, perception is true. Yeah, perception is that Tank is more known. But the actual pay-per-view sales, the actual gates don't say that. But I know what you're trying to do. They both know. How about that? They both know. You know? Yeah, perception, I would agree with that. Perception, you would think that. Perception, right? Yep, perception. But the actual pay-per-view sales, the actual gate numbers, Earl Spence does better than Canelo at the time, you know, and everybody else. But I digress. I saw how you just got me up off your board too. I saw how you just got me up off your board too. I saw how you just got me. I saw what you just did there. I saw what you just did. That was good, Jay Gibson. Appreciate you sliding through. If y'all could jab that like button for your boy. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that like button. I don't know if this is your first time, but if you could, not made your last time, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Muscle Musa was good, family. Appreciate you sliding through this thing. Glad y'all can make it. But yeah, we're in this thing having a real conversation. But like we talking about generating money. Yeah, he overpaid. Yeah, we talking about generating money, not being paid. Canelo is taking money from hand to hand. Oh yeah, here you go. Here go your 20. Here go your 20. Here you go, your 20. Floyd Mayweather was selling 1.7 pay-per-views, generating $40 million off pay-per-views, selling out the arena, generating 9 million, 10 million, 12 million, 13 million, 14 million dollars. You know what I mean? Floyd Mayweather is coming in making $60 million in an event, $70 million an event, $80 million an event, because he had the pay-per-views and he had, you know what I mean, the people had to pay him, you know what I mean, because he knew he was gonna bring that in. So you had to pay Floyd Mayweather $20 million and then $20 million on the back end. You had to play for, you know what I mean, $40 million later in his career. You know what I mean? $25 million on the back end. You get what I'm saying? Because that's who Floyd was killing it from both ends. Canelo Alvarez, he not doing it. Canelo Alvarez is not doing it. Canelo Alvarez pay-per-views are overrated. He had an 800,000. He had a 600,000. He had an 800,000. He had a 600,000. And then after that, it's pretty much 200,000, 300,000, and down. You get what I'm saying? It's 300,000 and down. You know what I mean? 350 and down. Just like the rest of the guys. But Wilder was doing, 400, 500, like that type deal for a second. So for a while, Wilder and Errol Spence were doing better pay-per-view events than Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, watch this. Y'all want to know? Look at the correlation. Look at the correlation. The correlation between the Zone having their worst year in 2021 and that being the year Canelo Alvarez came back and he had them 4 fights in 1 year. The correlation to the Zone as a whole going out of business, right? And Triple G and Canelo being their two biggest stars. How you going out of business when you got Triple G and Canelo fighting each other 3 and 4 times? That right there alone would tell you, if you're really paying attention, that those fights aren't doing, that their last fight especially didn't do what you think it was supposed to do. The first Triple G fight did pretty good. The second one did even better. That's that 600,000 and that 800,000. That third fight flopped because nobody is trying to see it. Canelo is descending as his stardom is descending, right? A lot of people don't they want to act, oh yeah, in the public, a lot of people know Canelo. No, a lot of Mexicans know Canelo. Canelo has a huge Mexican fan base. You know what I mean? People know who Canelo is, but the first thing they say about Canelo, the dude that fought Floyd Mayweather. Oh, you talking about the Mexican dude that Floyd Mayweather beat up? You talking about the dude that lost to Floyd Mayweather? Canelo is being paid by the promotion companies, by the venues and shit, because he fought Floyd Mayweather. He not generating face of boxing money at all by a long shot. No way is he generating face of boxing money. He actually generating less money from his fights than the Errol Spence, than the Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? Generating about the same money as a Gervonta Tank Davis. You want to know that? You know what I mean? So people want to jump out here and look at these. They going with 70,000. What my source told me was 84,000, and that's what I'm rolling with. You know, I'm taking my guys over everybody, right? So 84,000. So 84,000, is what I'm rolling with. They'll look at the 84,000. They'll tell you that it flopped, right? Now, if you compare Tank Davis to if you compare Gervonta Tank Davis to the best pay-per-view seller ever, Floyd Mayweather, then yeah, it flopped. If you compare him to the only two, if you compare him to the two pay-per-views right that Canelo Alvarez did that were mega, 600,000, 800,000, then yeah, it's a flop. But if you compare it to Canelo Alvarez's last pay-per-view, it wasn't a flop. If you comparing it to, most people can't even get on pay-per-view, it wasn't a flop. If you add up the total event, right, the pay-per-view with the gate, you will realize that Tank Davis amassed $11.3 million. You know what I mean? So he made more from that event than he got paid. That's what makes you a star in boxing. That's what makes you a superstar in boxing. Can you bring in the money? Can you bring in more money than you are getting paid? Can you get that company out of the red? Can you make money for that company? Can you generate money? Canelo Alvarez does not generate money. Tank Davis generates money. Errol Spence generates money. Deontay Wilder generates money. Canelo Alvarez company is going under because Canelo Alvarez takes money. Watch this. Hey, what's Canelo Alvarez's biggest fight in recent history? Watch this. Let me show y'all something else. Canelo Alvarez fought Caleb Plant, right? $500,000. PBC fighter. Canelo Alvarez's highest grossing fight last year was on the PBC. Not last year, but no, when he got undisputed. It was on the PBC. You know what I mean? When you add Canelo Alvarez with Caleb Plant, that's when you get Canelo Alvarez. That's the part I ain't gonna tell you either. Right? That's the part I ain't gonna tell you either. Canelo made his biggest bags, his biggest purses. He generate his most money when he fights on the PBC. Floyd Mayweather, Caleb Plant. These are facts. He got that one pay-per-view with Triple G2. Did amazing. The rest of them, I digress. He's at comparison playing Floyd in the tank, non-flop because the company got profit. Just that Floyd brought in more facts. The company is getting profit. That $500K paid for Plant fight, but he got paid $40 million. Plant got paid 10. Yeah, facts. Facts. You know what I mean? Facts. Yep. But in order for him to do good pay-per-views, he needs the PBC. That's where the bread is at. Why you think the zone is losing money? Because the zone don't know the sauce. The zone is looking at it like, oh, the PBC is paying Canelo this, but so we can pay Canelo this. We could pay, if they could pay it, we could pay it. We got the money to pay it. They could do it. But you don't got the opponents to put with them. We do not want to see Canelo fight Triple G for a fourth time. We'll watch him fight B-Vol because we want to see him get beat up. B-Vol is the right opponent. You could pay the man 40, but you gonna lose your money because you ain't got the person to put in the ring with him. PBC can pay him 40 because they gonna put Caleb Plant in the ring with him. They gonna put Benavidez in the ring with him. They gonna put Charlo in the ring with him. They gonna put somebody in the ring with him who the people want to see. You ain't got nobody to put in the ring with him. All the fights, that's gonna get him the real money. The zone is going to pay him money to fight. Understand what I'm saying is different. The zone is going to pay him money to fight. The PBC, the fight they gonna put him in is going to earn money for everybody, not just him. Ricky, what's good, Rick? Appreciate you sliding through this thing. I'm in this thing breaking this shit down for him, Rick. That 70,000 drop for Tank. That 70,000 drop for Tank, right? And people trying to shit on it. My sources told me 84,000. So I ain't going with no 70,000. I'm going with my people. I'm going with my move. But, most people surface level thinkers, Rick, right? What's good, Sean? What's good, Sean Clark? What's good, Sean? Rick? Most people surface level thinkers, right, Rick? They'll say, oh, 70,000, 84,000, he flopped, the pay-per-view flop. Well, they got to finish it, Rick. Pay-per-view what? Pay-per-view event. The event as a whole, the pay-per-view did 84,000. If you break down the numbers, right? He made $6 million off of his pay-per-views. He made $5 million at the gate. Total, he made about $11.3 million. They want to tell you that Gervonta Tank Davis pay-per-view flop, right? But how could the pay-per-view event flop if he made $11.3 million off the gate? You know what I mean, Rick? I just broke it down to him. Tank Davis made a guaranteed 2.5 million. Tank Davis made about 9 million, 8.5 million more off his event than he got paid. So we know Gervonta Tank Davis at least doubled his purse the PBC way. So let's just give Gervonta Tank Davis 5 million, right? You still got another 7 million to work with. The undercard gonna cost you about 2 million, right? You pay the undercard off 2 million. Boom, done. Bob. Al Heyman then made 5 million off another Gervonta Tank Davis event. And normally Tank Davis do about 100,000, 120, 200,000 pay-per-views, right? So normally he would have more money on the pay-per-view. So yeah, he missed on the pay-per-view, but he also did a bigger gate than he ever did in his career. So what he didn't get on the fucking pay-per-view this time, he made up for it by now he owned the motherfucking Washington Wizards arena, the Washington Capitals arena. He broke a record there. That means that's his arena. He could call him up today and be like, hey, I want another fight there. They go wipe the whole fucking stadium clean for him. So how the fuck his event failed when he made $11.3 million, $9.9 million more than he got paid? Let's just give him his 2.5. He made 5 million. The undercard got paid, with their 2 million. And Al took home 5 million. Everybody got paid. That's called generating money. Y'all comparing it to Canelo Alvarez, who made 40 million. Okay, he got paid 40 million. He didn't generate 40 million worth of revenue. The zone lost money messing with Canelo Alvarez, which is why they $8.3 billion in debt. That's why they $8.3 billion in debt, because they losing money. You know what I mean? They want to tell you Tank Davis flop. Now, Tank Davis generated money for everybody, himself, the undercard, the big heads. Everybody won. Everybody ate that night. They not gonna keep putting people on pay-per-view who not generating some kind of money. People are paying Canelo, right? PBC pay Canelo, but they gotta fight somebody worth a damn. Gotta fight somebody worth a damn. You know what I mean? Because that's what's gonna generate you the money on the back end. The zone is paying him the money, and they getting their ass beat on the back end because they not putting him in. They don't get nobody. We want to see him fight. They want to tell you Tank flopped. Well, now Tank generated $9 million more than he got paid from this event. Yeah, facts. Yeah, if you compare, and that's exactly what I'm saying, Sean Clark. What are you comparing them to? You comparing them to Floyd Mayweather, who nobody's fucking with, right? You comparing them to the 1 or 2 pay-per-views Canelo did, 800 and 600,000, right? Or you comparing them to himself, who normally do more pay-per-views, right? You can't be talking about the event as a whole. You know what I mean? 84,000 pay-per-view buys on top of your $5 million gate, because that's what it's about. It's about the dollar in the end. It's about the buck in the end. See what I'm saying, Kate? And that's what people quiet about. Think how much money they paid Canelo and how much money that he didn't get. I talked about the Bivol fight. I can't remember the exact numbers, but I dropped them numbers as well. I have to go back and check. But the Bivol fight didn't really do that much. You know what I mean? And the Triple G fight tanked. And the Triple G fight tanked. The Bivol fight didn't do too hot. And the Triple G fight tanked. You get what I'm saying? Tanked. Tay said 5 million gate is insane, but the pay-per-view could be better. Yep, and I agree with that, Tay. The pay-per-view could be better. By Tank standards, that is a decrease, right? But his gate increased, right? Y'all hear me out. The pay-per-view decreased, but that could just be because it's the beginning of the year, the timing of it, right? The pay-per-view decreased, but the gate increased. So It balanced out. He actually the gate increased so much that he actually made an even bigger profit. So what they got to do now is get the pay-per-view numbers back over 100,000. 175, 150, 200,000, right? Because I think the most he did was like 225,000 with Leo. But also think about it like this. This was also Hector Garcia. Like I was just saying, Leo did 225,000 with Tank, right? So you put him in there with a name, right? You'll get those pay-per-view numbers back. Now, you got a venue where he could do 5 million. You got a venue where he could do 5 million. You give him the right opponent. They're just like Earl doing the 9 million. I mean, Earl doing a 29 million, total fight gate with Ugas, right? If you add somebody like a Keith Thurman in there, who more people know in America, who go come, who go buy it, right? More people know than Ugas. Boom. So he doing so. Earl next fight probably gonna be pushing about 40, 50 million. You get what I'm saying? And then we had that face of boxing talk again in April. But I digress, right? But you got to do, as a whole. He said, right, T? I think they broke even with Bivol, which is a failure. Yep. When they call you the face of boxing. Yeah, facts do. You know what I'm saying? Money generated, not money given. It's a difference. Money generated versus money given. He said pay-per-view for these fighters have been decreasing. The Ryan fight going to be huge. Yeah, facts, Tay. You just got to match him with the right opponent. You know what I mean? If he could do this by himself. So Tank could do, let's just say Tank could do roughly, on average, right? He could do 100,000 pay-per-view, 125,000 pay-per-views, right, by himself. He did 225. He did like 175. He did like 120, didn't he? And he just did 84. So let's just say on average he do anywhere from about 125 by himself. You bring in a name opponent, right? That'll add you another at least 1,000. You get what I'm saying? So that'll put you over that 200,000 pay-per-view mark, and that'll really shoot your bank up. You know what I mean? To like the 20 millions and shit like that. So Tank, you match Tank up with the right guy, man. Nah, it ain't no fucking failure. Not at all. Not at all. He fought Hector Garcia. He not that. No, he's a good opponent. The hardcores love that fight. 84,000 hardcores bought Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia, right? So you throw him in there with another casual opponent that the casuals know, shit gonna go through the roof. You know what I mean? That they halfway know. You know what I mean? Shit gonna go through the roof. People just see, like when you look at it, like I said again, when you look at it on the surface, I mean, yeah, he did bad compared to, himself, what he normally do, right? But when you look at the event as a whole, the pay-per-view event, not just the pay-per-view sales, right? Which is not what makes you a star in these days. These times and these days, what makes you a star is putting butts in the seats, right? You can't even get a pay-per-view these days if you can't put butts in the seat first, because the powers that be understand that it's a lot of it's a lot of pirating, and it's a lot of streaming going on. So they understand that number gonna be a little slanted. 84,000 people bought this pay-per-view, but you better believe over 300,000, 500,000 people watched this fight. You know what I mean? It just, with the times that we live in, with the pirating and the streaming, it's gonna be a little slanted. You know what I mean? Here and there, right? So the powers that be, they understand it. So that's why the gate is what's really important right now. It's important that you get that gate, because the gate is what's gonna pay the bills. The pay-per-view is like the extra. That's gonna add you the bonuses. That's gonna get you your bonuses. Your pay-per-view these days is like the bonuses. Your gate is what's gonna pay the bills. When you could get the two to happen the right way, that's when you get people continuously being on pay-per-views. The people you see constantly on pay-per-views are the people who could do the two. You know what I mean? Who could do the two? Who could get the two to work for them? You know what I mean? Generating money, not being paid money, right? Look at how much money these fighters are generating. That's where you go find your real face of boxing. That's where you go find who really, is that guy and who really not. look at the purses that they make and look at the purses that they generate. You get what I mean? Earl Spence got an $8 million purse, right? Earl Spence at this point is generating anywhere from $22 to $30 million per fight. His highs being 30, his lowest in the last couple fights being 22. You get what I'm saying? So if his purse is $8 million and he getting paid 22, he can generate on the low end $20 million per fight. That means Earl Spence is more than doubling, you know what I mean, what he's getting paid. So they may be able to they could throw Earl Spence $4 or $5 million on the back end, and you still got goddamn $17-16 million to play with. You know what I mean? And that's more than enough money because it ain't gonna take you $4-5 million to pay that undercard. It might take your Earl Spence undercard. It might take you $3 million, right? So now you got $13 million. Al Heyman ain't finna get no motherfucking $13 million by himself. So Earl Spence probably gonna get another $6 million. Al Heyman gonna take home that fucking $10-11 million. You get what I'm saying? Them boys is eating over there at the PBC. You know what I mean? Everybody is getting paid, not just the fighter. Face of boxing is the money that you generate. You know what I mean? Yes, you can demand a certain amount of money, but what you really doing for everybody else? You know what I mean? What you really doing for your company? You ain't generating no money. You know what I mean? You actually losing your company money. You getting rich off of Floyd Mayweather's name. People pay you that money because you fought Floyd Mayweather, not because you generate that kind of money. And I'm not even going to talk about Deontay Wilder shit. Deontay Wilder doing 400,000, 500,000 pay-per-views. You know what I mean? 600,000. Deontay Wilder did 800,000 pay-per-view. Deontay Wilder did like 700,000 some change. Deontay Wilder did 500,000. And then I think he had his last pay-per-view did like 175 or some shit like that. You know what I mean? We don't even want to get into them Deontay Wilder. I'm gonna make everybody in this motherfucker sick. You know what I mean? The back ends and shit off that. But man, like, he's the only one person because this dude, and he not consistently doing 500,000. He not consistently doing 500,000. He did 800,000. He had a space in between. He did 500,000, and then after that he did 4. He did like 2, and he did 150. He not consistently doing 500,000. He not consistently doing 500,000. Look at his last pay-per-view. He did 500,000 with Caleb Plant, right? He did 800 with Triple G. Him and Floyd did like 1 point something, right? And then he had 600,000 in that second Triple G fight. He had 800,000 in that second Triple G fight. He had 500,000 with Caleb Plant. He had 1.1 with Floyd, and then he just had like 150,000 with Triple G. He not consistently doing. He did it a couple times. He did it a few times, right? He number one. He number one right now, right? He number one right now. He the standard right now, but the standard is consistently dropping, right? It's consistently dropping. He got the 500K with Plant. Facts. He got the 500K with Plant. Yeah, facts. But outside of Plant, he ain't getting that. That second Triple G fight did pretty good. Floyd Mayweather fight did pretty good. The Plant fight did pretty good. I think that's the 1.1, that's the 800, that's the 500. The Plant fight was the 500, Triple G2 was the 800, and he had to fight with Floyd Mayweather. Outside of that, Canelo fluctuate too, anywhere from 200 to about 400. You get what I'm saying? He fluctuate. You know what I mean? So his is actually descending. You know what I mean? As it goes on. Yeah, the third Triple G fight was a real flop. You know what I mean? That was a real flop. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to come here, drop the Gervonta Tank Davis numbers right. But I wanted to do more than just drop the numbers. I wanted to add some content to it. So I couldn't come on here this time, you know what I mean, and just do, the typical 8-minute video, right? Because this was more than a surface level EP. Now, what the people go do is they go look at the low pay-per-view number and they go say it flopped. But when you look at the event as a whole, that was a successful event, right? That was a successful event. Ain't nobody constantly getting put on pay-per-view, you know what I mean? And they flop it. Even Canelo ain't constantly getting put on pay-per-view. A lot of his fights for a while wasn't even on pay-per-view. If you remember correctly, he was literally getting paid his money, up front type deal. And then he came back to pay-per-view with Caleb Plant, right? Type deal. So, people not consistently getting put on pay-per-view if they flopping. Gervonta Tank Davis' event as a whole was a success. I mean, if you look at the pay-per-view numbers on the surface alone by themselves, I mean, yeah, you could say he has done better. He could have done better, right? But when you look at the bottom line, which is what's most important, which is what all this is about, the bottom line says that Gervonta Tank Davis' pay-per-view was a success. The bottom line says Gervonta Tank Davis accumulated $11.3 million that night. So you could take a piece of his work and say pay-per-view sales flop. Cool. But that bottom line says a completely different story when you actually dig on the surface of exactly what's going on or what went on, you know what I mean, with the Gervonta Tank Davis pay-per-view event. So if you want to laugh, I most definitely think Canelo versus John Ryder will be a failure. I most definitely do. So if you want to laugh at Gervonta Tank Davis, 70,000, 84,000, 100,000, whatever, y'all want to roll with, cool. But one thing you can't do is laugh at his money generated, not the money that he was given. They go tell you that Canelo got paid $40 million. Yep, Canelo did. Congratulations to him. He was given $40 million. That's called the handout where I'm from. Tank Davis generates his money and he feeds everybody. Earl Spence generates his money and he feeds everybody. Floyd Mayweather generated his money. Then he started to demand his handout. He said, yo, T's they're even accurate to research without a source. Later say one thing, cops said another thing, networks be quiet as hell about it. Yeah, facts. They leak out. The numbers leak out, right? They leak out to certain people, right? And they tell you this. Glazer might got him a source. Cop might got him a source. Shit, T got him a source. You get what I'm saying? Theirs may be different. You know what I mean? From mine. I think the number that they reporting, right, Sean? Sean, what number they reporting? They reporting what, 70,000? And my guy told me, you know what I mean, 84,000. You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, sometimes the numbers, fluctuate. You might hear this. And sometimes, the numbers add up because it's pay-per-views, numbers constantly coming in as well. You know what I mean? Type deal. So there's that to it as well, type deal. But you kind of get a certain area, right? You'll get the gap. I say it's like a 50,000, yeah. So it's like a 50,000. Sometimes it could be like a 50,000 gap. You know what I mean? But a lot of times, it'd be a gap. Okay, so Sean, you heard 70,000 to 77, right? My guy telling me 84. So we could gauge it anywhere from 70,000 to 84,000, right? I heard somebody say 100,000, right? So we can go anywhere from 70,000 to 100,000, whatever you want to call it. Yep, 77K was bug. Yep, facts. So whatever you want to call it, Sean, 70, 77, 84, 100,000. You know what I mean? We just go round it. Like we round it. I'm going with 84. I'm going with my move. I'm going with 84. You know what I mean? So as a whole, you know what I mean? As a whole, their bottom line most definitely, wasn't a failure. You know what I mean? They're not going to continue to put Gervonta. They're not going to continue to put Gervonta, on pay-per-view if, he was failing. You got to look at their bottom dollar. Don't let what a fighter is being paid. What a fighter is being paid is beneficial to them. What a fighter, what's good, Jason? What a fighter generates is beneficial to everybody. Canelo hasn't been the highest generating fighter in a minute. He's been the highest paid fighter, not the highest generating fighter. Highest generating fighter has been Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Errol Spence. You get what I'm saying? and I'm dropping the flames for my damn self on that. Those have been the highest generating fights. Canelo is the highest paid, but it is a difference. I think I'm gonna have to do an EP on highest generated versus highest paid. You know what I mean? One of these days. But I ain't gonna hold y'all in this thing too long. I greatly appreciate everybody sliding through. I know you got more people about to go live. I know my boy Fizzle, probably gonna go live. My boy Dude probably gonna go live. I ain't gonna hold up the airways. Hopefully YouTube, kept my video green. But I appreciate everybody sliding through this thing. Skin the Hardaway Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. This the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.